Welcome to the Refusion Podcast, where we transform patient care.
All right, welcome in, everyone, learners.
Yeah, welcome.
Today, we're going deep on something that, honestly, in healthcare today, you just can't afford to ignore.
Yeah.
It's all about online reviews. We're talking Google, Yelp, social media places where patients are talking about you and their experiences. And we've got some really interesting insights here at Refugen about why this is so important.
Yeah, it's amazing how much the digital world has changed how patients share those experiences.
Yeah.
And healthcare is right there in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Those online conversations, they really do have an impact.
Sure. For sure.
On where people decide to go for their healthcare.
And, to kind of drive that point home, learners, get this.
Yeah.
We did a nationwide survey here at Refugen, and it showed that 73% of patients actually look at online reviews.
That many.
Before even choosing a provider.
That's huge.
It's like almost 3 out of 4 potential patients are checking you out online.
Yeah, they're doing their research.
Before they even walk in the door.
Absolutely.
So, and what's really interesting is the stuff you find in these reviews goes way beyond those typical patient satisfaction surveys.
Right.
It's real people talking about real experiences.
In their own words.
In their own words.
Absolutely. They're not being prompted.
And, you've got 42% of consumers saying they trust those online reviews.
Wow.
Just as much as a recommendation.
Like from a friend.
From a friend.
That's powerful.
So that shows you just how powerful this stuff really is.
It's social proof.
Okay, so we know these reviews are important.
Right.
But what's in it for you, for your practice, to actually keep track of them?
Well, it's a direct line to see your strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, yeah.
Straight from the patient's perspective.
Yeah.
And it's not just, hey, did they fix my broken arm?
Yeah.
It's the whole experience.
The vibe.
The vibe, exactly.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is, like, we've seen that consistent positive feedback about staff, friendly staff, things like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes actually correlates more strongly with patient retention.
Really?
Than even clinical outcomes.
Wow, that's fascinating.
It's that human touch.
Yeah, that human element.
That comes through in the review.
So it's not just about being a great doctor, it's about the whole package.
Right, you got to create that whole positive experience.
And, if you're keeping an eye on all reviews over time, you start to see these trends emerge.
Absolutely.
Is the overall feeling about your practice positive, negative, kind of in between?
Are things trending up? Are they trending down?
Exactly. And that's super valuable information, isn't it?
It is. It helps you move beyond just reacting to each individual review.
Right.
It's about seeing the big picture.
Yeah.
Are your efforts to, let's say, improve wait times actually having an impact?
Yeah. Are people noticing?
Exactly. And are there new themes popping up that you need to address?
Right.
It's like having a constant feedback loop.
So proactive patient satisfaction, essentially.
Exactly. When patients see that their feedback matters and you're making changes based on it, they're going to be more loyal, more likely to recommend you.
They feel heard.
They feel heard and valued.
And of course, the more positive those reviews are, the more new patients you're going to attract.
Right. It's like a magnet. A good online reputation is gold these days.
It's social proof. It's like a digital word of mouth.
Exactly. When people are searching for a new doctor, they're going to see those positive reviews. And that builds trust.
It's like a stamp of approval.
Exactly.
Now, let's be real.
Yeah.
Keeping track of all these reviews across all these platforms.
It can feel overwhelming.
It feels like a lot, right?
Right. And it can be.
What are some of the challenges there?
The biggest one, honestly, is time.
Yeah, it's a time suck.
It is. Patients are all over the place online.
They're everywhere.
Healthcare-specific sites, general review sites, social media. It's everywhere.
It's not just checking one website anymore.
Nope, not even close.
You've got Yelp, Google, Facebook, HealthGrades, WebMD, the list goes on.
And on and on.
Trying to keep up with all that
Just
manually.
It's a nightmare.
And then you've got to respond to them too.
Right. You can't just read them and move on.
Yeah, exactly. You have to engage.
And that takes time. It does. You want to be prompt, professional, thoughtful in your responses.
Yeah, you want to show you care.
Exactly. And if you're not responding, it looks like you don't care.
People notice that.
They do. And let's face it, negative reviews.
Yeah, those can sting.
They can, but they're important.
You can't just ignore them.
You can't. Because you know what? 71% of consumers say they won't even consider a business.
Wow. Okay.
With an average rating below 3 stars.
That's a lot of people.
It is. So those negative reviews, you got to handle them.
Yeah, got to be strategic about it.
Exactly.
So what can you do, practically speaking, to keep track of all this without losing your mind?
All right, first things first. Figure out where your patients are actually posting.
Right, where they're hanging out online.
Exactly. Google's a big one for pretty much everyone.
Yeah, everyone's on Google.
WebMD, health grades, those are key too.
Those are the big ones.
And then think about niche sites. Are you a fertility specialist?
Right, specialized sites.
Yeah, you might want to check Fertility IQ.
It's about knowing your audience.
Exactly. Figure out where your patients are and focus your energy there.
Okay, so be strategic about it.
Right. Then set up alerts for new reviews.
Ah, good idea.
Most of those platforms let you do that.
Yeah, get notified right away.
Right. That way you can respond quickly.
Yeah.
And honestly, to really streamline this whole thing,
make life easier.
Definitely consider a reputation management tool.
Like what we offer here at RepuGen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It pulls all those reviews from different platforms
into one place.
Into one dashboard. So much easier to manage.
Yeah, that sounds way less overwhelming.
It is. You can monitor everything, analyze sentiment,
see the big picture,
respond to reviews all in one place.
Save you tons of time.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've got your system set up, you're tracking reviews.
Right.
Now, how do you actually make sense of all that data?
Okay, so reading the reviews, that's just step one.
Right, what's next?
You got to analyze the sentiment.
What does that mean?
Basically, what's the overall tone?
Positive, negative.
Exactly. Are people generally happy, unhappy, somewhere in between?
Okay.
That gives you a sense of overall patient satisfaction.
Yeah, I see. The vibe check.
Exactly. And there's this cool thing called sentiment analysis.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
It uses fancy technology to actually figure out the emotion behind the words.
So it's not just looking at whether they gave you 5 stars or 1 star.
Right. It's digging deeper.
Okay, interesting.
So it goes beyond just the star rating.
So it's like reading between the lines.
Exactly.
You're getting the feeling behind the words.
Exactly. And then look for recurring themes.
Okay.
What are people consistently saying?
Like, are they all complaining about the wait times?
Exactly. Or are they all raving about a particular nurse?
Yeah.
That helps you pinpoint where you're doing well and where you need to improve.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you can even take it a step further.
How so?
Analyze reviews based on different patient groups.
Okay, get specific.
Yeah. Like, maybe younger patients love your online booking system.
Right.
But older patients find it confusing.
Interesting.
You start to build these patient personas.
What's that?
Basically, like fictional representations of your typical patients.
Okay.
Based on their demographics and the things they say in reviews.
So you can really tailor your approach.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about responding to reviews. We touched on this before, but what are the best practices?
Be prompt, thoughtful, professional, all of that.
Sure you're listening.
Exactly. 88% of consumers say their trust in a business goes up.
Wow, really?
When they see them responding to reviews.
It's about engagement.
It is. You're building a relationship with your patients online.
So it's not just about putting out fires when there's a bad review.
No, not at all.
You should be responding to the good ones, too.
Absolutely.
Reinforce those positive experiences.
Right. And social proof for new patients.
Like, hey, look how much people love us.
Exactly. And when you do get a negative review...
Yeah, nobody likes those.
You got to handle it with empathy.
Be understanding.
Exactly. Show them you want to understand their concerns and make things right.
And people appreciate that, right?
They do. 58% of consumers say they're more likely to visit a business that responds to negative reviews.
It shows you're taking responsibility.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, all this feedback,
yeah,
it should lead to real changes in your practice, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about collecting data.
It's about taking action.
It is. If everyone's complaining about your online booking system,
yeah,
maybe it's time for an upgrade.
Right. You got to listen to the feedback.
Exactly. It shows you're putting patients first.
And that's good for business.
It is. It's all connected.
So what's the future of patient reviews?
Things are changing fast. AI is getting more sophisticated.
Oh, yeah.
Sentiment analysis is going to get even more powerful.
We're going to be able to dig even deeper into those reviews.
Right. And with telehealth growing.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
It is. We're going to have to figure out how to manage patient feedback in that world.
It's a whole new frontier.
It is. But the main thing stays the same. Focus on the patient experience.
That's the core of it all.
It is. The practices that really prioritize that, understand their patients, listen to their feedback.
Right.
They're the ones that are going to thrive.
It's all about adapting and evolving.
Absolutely.
So learners, we've gone deep on patient reviews today.
We have.
And the takeaway here is that they're absolutely essential for understanding your patients and shaping the future of your practice.
It's not just about tracking reviews. It's about understanding them.
Yeah.
Taking action, showing your patients you care.
Because in today's world, online opinions are everything.
They really are.
Think about it.
Yeah.
How are you managing your online narrative?
Right.
Are you making sure your patients feel heard and valued?
Are you engaging with them?
It's an ongoing process, but understanding this stuff is the first step.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, learner.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.
See you then. Thanks for listening to the RepuGen Podcast, your path to better healthcare.